Hey guys, Mr. Happy here and welcome to Final Fantasy Bestiary. This series is dedicated towards discovering the history and lore behind Final Fantasy's most iconic creatures and characters. This episode, we will be taking a look at the massive serpent, Midgardsormr. Midgardsormr is a dragon whose inspiration is drawn from Norse mythology. This creature's name literally means world serpent, and as such, his history reflects that name. As the son of Loki, he was cast into the world's ocean by Odin. The gods called Earth Midgar, and eventually, Midgardsormr grew so large, he could wrap himself around the world and bite his own tail. Eventually, the serpent was predicted to do battle with Thor during the Ragnarok, a battle that would result in the death of both of them. In Final Fantasy, the creature has seen many different names and translations over the years, though he always takes the appearance of some form of serpent or dragon. While he is a boss in most cases, he has appeared as a summon as well. Midgardsormr's first appearance was in Final Fantasy III, where he appeared as Jormungand. He appears as a common enemy near the northwest portal in the World of Darkness, and takes the appearance of a long, orange dragon. The dragon's next appearance was in Final Fantasy VI, where he was Terato in the English SNES version of the game. This was due to a hard 8-character limit on Esper name sizes. The name itself was likely a reference to his title as the World Serpent, as Terra is Latin for Earth. Anyway, when first encountered in the Yeti's mine, it triggers a fight with Umaro. However, if Mog is in the party, Umaro and Midgardsormr will join the party. Midgardsormr acts as a summon and uses the attack Abyssal Maw. He also provides massive HP boosts on level up and teaches several different magics. In Final Fantasy VII, Midgardsormr appears as the Midgardsormr, a giant serpent that lives in the swamp near Midgar. It is encountered early on in the game and can be quite difficult to defeat. For this reason, it's recommended the player capture a chocobo and cross the swamp this way, avoiding the serpent altogether. Once the player is strong enough to do battle with the Zalem, they can return to learn its blue magic spell, Beta, which is quite powerful early on. His next appearance is in Final Fantasy X as an optional boss in the monster arena. Taking on the appearance of a basilisk named Jormungand, he is one of the weaker optional bosses of the game. Next, Midgardsormr would once again appear as Jormungand in Final Fantasy XI. In this game, he appears as one of the 4 Great Wyrms in Vana'diel under the control of Bahamut, the Wyrm King. He resides at the far north of the continent in the Ulagarand Range, where he is surrounded by several bombs and ice elementals. For many years, Jormungand was considered one of the most difficult bosses in the game. Not only was his level 20 levels higher than the maximum player limit, but his abilities and additional enemies were extremely threatening. A series of ice attacks and magics, a deadly wing attack that inflicted paralysis on anyone hit, and the ability to drain 100% of the damage he deals with his auto attacks as health. If players were able to defeat him, they would be granted the title World Serpent Slayer. He was also encountered in the final confrontation with Bahamut in the Chains of Promethe expansion as a summonable creature. His health pool is much smaller here, but he still possesses almost all of the same abilities and presents a huge threat to the 18-man party alongside Bahamut. Moving on to Final Fantasy XII, Midgardsormr takes the appearance of a rare game basilisk that can inflict poison. There's little else to say about him here. And that brings us to his most recent iteration in Final Fantasy XIV. Midgardsormr first made his appearance in the game in the trailer for the initial launch back in 2010. In this trailer, he is seen battling the Garlean Empire along with an army of dragons known as the Dravanian Horde. Though he is successful in bringing down the main ship of the Garlean fleet, the Agrias, the explosion kills Midgardsormr and causes the Agrias to crash down into Silvertear Falls. This crash caused the ethereal seal placed on the falls to break, and released a massive surge of ether into the world that would allow beastmen to summon their gods as primals, further threatening the land. In the game itself, we learn Midgardsormr was the guardian of Silvertear Falls, as well as the Wyrm King of the Dravanian Horde, a group of dragons to the north that has been locked into war with the nation of Ishgard for 1,000 years. The battle we see in the initial trailer depicts events that happened 10 years prior to the initial game's launch, now 15 years prior to where we stand in the relaunch of A Realm Reborn. Midgardsormr's dead body remains wrapped around the Agrias in Mordona to this day. However, Ishgard is beginning to fear signs of movement from the Dravanian Horde. The Dragon Crescent glows bright, the heaven's motions are swift, and whispers of the revival of Midgardsormr are spreading throughout the ranks. Considering his strength and magnitude, the revival of Midgardsormr would likely present a great threat to Eorzea, and as such, special attention is being paid to the Wyrm King's carcass. In patch 2.5, a new dungeon will be available to players known as the Keeper of the Lake, the nickname also given to Midgardsormr. This dungeon may have the players climb the Agrius to confront the dragon to learn the truth of the Ishgardian conflict, and it is even possible that he will be revived and become a central point of interest in the upcoming expansion, Heavensward. Now, of course, Midgardsormr has appeared in some off-titles of the Final Fantasy series, most noticeably Final Fantasy Tactics, but this dragon's epic mythology gives it a number of potential uses across the series, and it will be interesting to see where Midgardsormr next appears, and what his role is. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. Also, check out the rest of my Bestiary series on my YouTube channel. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.